Hello and welcome to ReginaldESQ. I'm Underhook, and this is not me. This is Putin Tato. I think that's how you say it, or it could be Putin Tato. I don't know. I'm going to call him Putin. Sounds a bit Russian though, doesn't it? Some Russian's got the similar name, I think. Anyway, I think he's playing on the SEA server. He has terrible ping. It's about 170, 160, 170. But he manages to play quite well in it. Now, he is in the all-new FV201, open brackets, A45, close brackets. Easy to say. The Tier 7 British Premium Heavy Tank. I recently reviewed this tank, didn't like it a lot, and I'm probably not going to drive it again. Now, I only managed to get Class 1 as tank, didn't get Mastery, but in this game, you're going to see a Mastery game in this tank. So, Putin kindly contacted me, let me know. In fact, he got this tank about a week before I did. He's a student, doesn't have a lot of time to play. You can see the tank's almost brand new. The other tank there, the Type 59, checking out the tank, having a good look. Because this was about a week before I got it, and not many people had the tank. He doesn't have much time to play the game because he's studying. So he had some tokens, and then he bought a few tokens as well to get the tank. And he quite likes the tank. Does better in it than I do. So he's here he is on Corellia, and he's has a bit of luck. The people he's playing with all travel together as a group, or perhaps Putin's playing well and traveling with the group. Probably a good thing with this tank, because if you're on your own and you get focus fired down, you get pretty much wasted. Now here's a Tier 7 IS-2 Chinese heavy tank, good heavy tank. Gets a good shot into that, another one in. You can see here the incredible rate of fire this tank can put out. If you can get tanks like this who are sitting basically in front of your gun and allowing you to reload and not firing back at you, the tank can be, as Putin shows us, quite devastating. Now, he makes what I think is a mistake here, and that he kind of goes YOLO. He just drives out in the open here. He's been spotted now. But I guess he is travelling with the group. Now, he gets hit by artillery, and that's always just bad luck when you get hit by artillery. There's nothing you can really do about it. But here, he takes an incredible risk going in front of the Black Prince here. And the Black Prince is too worried about his teammates, and so doesn't really focus on him. So he does well, and all his teammates together are able to focus fire down this Black Prince. He's got great side shots, and we can see here, because of the fantastic reload on this gun, he's able to just put shot after shot after shot into these tanks. And that is where this tank looks like it can be very good. And it looks to me like maybe this is the go. You've got to travel with a group of tanks and hope that they shoot at the other tanks. If you can do that, then the gun can work. But if the opponents are shooting at you, they're pretty much not going to bounce many shots, and you're just going to get wasted. So I think he was a bit lucky there. I think the next part of the game, though, I think he uses a lot of skill, and it's really good to see. Like I say, though, he does have a bit of a disadvantage. I'm not sure if he is on the SEA server. I'm assuming he probably is, looking at the ping. If you're not in sort of right in the heart of Asia, or the server's in Singapore, so if you're in Australia, New Zealand, or some of those places, it's really hard. He donks that shot into the turret of the T-29, which was a very bad idea, but then bounces off the frontal hull, which was surprising, but does ram it. Now, he does 95 damage to the T-29 with that ram, and the T-29 does 118 damage to him. So, not too bad. Both Tier 7 heavies. It's not a light tank. This is not a light-weighted tank. So, came off all right in that ram, really, when you think of it. Now, here's an enemy IS. Now, here's where Putin is using his tank well. He's not exposing too much of his hull. Gets a good shot on the IS there. And he's just looking for shots where he's just sort of trying to poke his turret over. So, he's not going too far over. Not making himself an easy target for the enemy. He's allowing his teammates to be easier targets. So when you can only see a turret of a tank, you're much less likely to shoot at. You're more likely to go for the ones you can see all of their tank. So he does notice this tank here. I was wondering if he'd notice it. He's going to have a look. It's dead anyway, but it looks like it didn't have a shot on him. He's done the right thing here and backed down the slope a little bit more to make sure that he's not an easy target for anyone. And now he's trying to utilise the excellent gun depression of this tank, misses that shot. And you can see here where his lag is kicking in. You can see there that I know this because it happens to me. When you see the cursor wandering around all over the place, that's because you're overcorrecting for lag. In other words, you move your gun and the gun doesn't move, so then you move it a bit more and then it catches up and it moves too far. So when you see people replays where their gun is moving back and forth all over the joint, and you see it sort of wobbling around like that, that's usually a good sign they're suffering quite a bit of lag. A lucky shot there. He gets looks like a fire or an ammo rack there on the Super Pershing, which, well, when you hit tanks this often, I guess you're going to get some luck. Now, he goes, pretty much just goes for this final tank here, which is the enemy is it an IS-6? Which is fair enough. The IS-6 is having trouble keeping up with him. And look, it's the last tank, so fair enough just to drive straight at it. Great game by Putin. Really showed off. So great game there from Putin. It was a mastery game in the tank. He also got high caliber. And it was a tier 8 game. There's a few tier 8s. And you can see that the tanks he was encountering weren't the weaker tanks on the team. He's encountered some of the tier 8s. And almost entirely heavy tanks he encountered, except for the Super Pershing, which is pretty much a heavy tank anyway with the armor it's got. So, yeah, really good game there. Let's have a look at the next screen. And he did he finish on top? Let me out. Is it listed for XP? Yes, he finished on top for experience and on top for damage. Yep, good job. So, oh, what's going on there? That's it. So, yeah, really, really good job. Fantastic display of the tank. So let's have a look at the next screen. He fired 28 shots, 25 of those hit, so fantastic accuracy. And of the 25, 21 penetrated. So that was a really great job. I don't think he actually used any premium ammunition either. I think it was I'm pretty sure when I watched the replay the first time to check it that it was all standard ammunition. So great result there. Damage 3,451, which is more than I ever managed to do in his tank. And only 156 of it was long range. So mostly all fairly close-ish range, medium range shooting. 7 damaged, 4 destroyed, and a little bit of assistance damage, not much. Big earnings, 83,950. Only got hit once by artillery, that was it. And ammunition, as you can see, the standard ammunition is very cheap, thankfully, because you have to fire a lot of it. And he made 74,000 profit, which is pretty huge. And 1,351 raw XP. That's a huge game. And yeah, well done. And Putin says he, 3,000 plus games he feels aren't unusual for this tank. So for damage, 3,000 plus. So obviously he drives it well. And thanks for alerting me to the game, Putin. Well done. If you like that, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more gameplay and reviews, please subscribe to ReginaldESQ. Have fun.